You see it on roads all over the state. In fact, happening all over the country with far too many people. Distracted driving. Trooper Jeremy Hagedorn pulls dozens of people over every day for distracted driving. No one ever thinks they'll be the one to die or kill someone else by sending a simple text message or answering a call behind the wheel.
There was a man talking on his cell phone.
It was graduation day for J.C. Good. Her parents were driving her home.
He tried to make a left turn, and this 18-wheeler swerved to try and miss him and hit my family's car. As a result, killed both my parents on impact.
J.C. was barely alive, left with broken bones, damaged organs, and a brain injury. It would take her months to understand what happened that day.
My kids weren't going to have grandparents. My dad wasn't going to walk me down the aisle when I got married. I didn't have parents anymore.
It's been 5 painful years, and now J.C. is on a mission to bring awareness to deadly distractions. She travels the country telling her story, hoping to convince people to hang up and drive. She met with Governor Cuomo, who's cracking down on distracted driving in New York, specifically texting. This is just one of many tools being used to stop texting and driving. It's an unmarked cop car. We took it for a spin, and we saw just how many people are driving while distracted. The stops were frequent. Most drivers too embarrassed to talk to us on camera, but one answered me when I asked him what was so important that he couldn't wait.
I'd say nothing is, and that's why I feel so embarrassed. It's just one of those things where, it can't happen to you. You can't, it's not going to happen to you type of thing.
But it happens more than we realize. During a summer crackdown, New York State Police issued more than 21,000 distracted driving tickets during a 3-month period.
It's a proof of fact that it's a deterrent out there when you're operating a motor vehicle, and just wait an extra few minutes to make that text or that phone call, and that way everybody can get home safely.
Penalties in New York are now a $150 fine and 5 points on your license. Texting zones are now clearly marked on highways across New York where people can pull over and use their phones safely. But that doesn't stop everyone.
There's nothing on our phone that is more important than a human life. And whatever that young man was talking about that day 5 years ago was not more important than my parents' lives.
And J.C. tells me she plans on visiting schools in Steuben County in mid-December. If you want to find out more about J.C.'s fight, go to her website, hangupanddrive.com. Even though President Barack Obama was in town to tout his new education reform package, the Chemung County Sheriff's Office tells me the man from last night's Webster armed robbery fits the description of yesterday's Southport suspect. Pump water out of their basement. If you take a look back over here, you can see just how high the water came. They hope their representatives on Capitol Hill will vote against military action in Syria. So why do you bring your pets here?
Because everybody loves them and it's different.
And all I want is one of those snakes, and I'll make it crawl on my sister.
In an exclusive interview, a former meth user tells us how hard it is to quit and what she'd like to see done to curb the problem. Good evening, I'm Renata Steele.
I'm Scott Cook. Thanks for choosing WENY News at 5:30. Well, after a year-long investigation, several meth manufacturers are behind bars in Schuyler County.
Undercover investigators say the drug is being made in rural Schuyler, Steuben, and Chemung counties. WENY's Tanja Rekhi spoke with a woman who recently stopped using the drug and knows how prevalent the problem is. Tanja?
Renata and Scott, the woman I spoke to says she started using meth to self-medicate. She says it's taken a lot to quit and is hoping something can be done to help other people quit. In these rolling hills, there's a growing problem, methamphetamine.
It's all over the place, every other couple houses there.
Mary, not her real name, knows all too well what's going on. She recently stopped using meth.
I feel great. I can eat, I can sleep. I don't have to worry about what my kids are doing and where they are at, and my life's becoming a lot better just being off of it.
Mary says the problem with meth and other drugs is rampant. That was evident yesterday when 5 people were arrested after a year-long investigation by the Schuyler County Sheriff's Office.
Well, these people might be making mistakes and they can correct them, but these are the people out there that are producing the methamphetamine that's going throughout our community.
The year-long sting put people behind bars for selling a controlled substance or prescription drugs or buying more than the legal amount of pseudoephedrine a month. a key ingredient to making meth.
If you make it difficult for them to get Sudafed, it makes it difficult to make meth. It is the key ingredient. And right now, there's a federal law that's, generally speaking, unenforced.
I've seen people completely high out of their mind, and the pharmacist still gives them the Sudafed.
Investigators say these 3 men are major manufacturers. They were arrested for running a meth lab which set fire to a house.
It'll slow down for a little while now, but we'd be foolish to think it's going to stop or they're going to move out of the area right now.
It's hard to stop. It really is hard to stop. But if you could just find one or 2 people that will listen to you, that will talk to you, that will be your support team, do it. I did.
I don't think we'll ever get rid of it, but in order to reduce the meth trade, we really have to start treating the people that are addicted and arresting the people that are making it.
Sheriff Yasmin says more arrests are coming. He says part of stopping the problem is education, so he's running some meth awareness programs in December. Tanja, Rekhi, WENY News. Saturday's tornado comes just a year and a day after a string of tornadoes struck the southern tier after being in intensive care at Strong Memorial Hospital in Rochester due to a fire that left him with major burns. 12-year-old Daniel Madison has passed away. The neighbor who helped the victim, Brian Marr, out of the house says he got out just moments before the house erupted into flames. The snow sure is coming down out here, but that's not dampening the spirits of Carmen Guidi and dozens of volunteers from the area. We've often heard it said, all gave some gave all. Today, 12 soldiers who gave all, honored for sacrificing their lives for our country.
12 forgotten veterans have made the long journey here today. You expected to have honor and respect paid to you as a result of your service to our great country. Instead, you remained in the custodial care of a dedicated funeral director, awaiting a day such as this.
Some of the soldiers' remains had gone unclaimed for up to 45 years, but today they were honored for all that they've done.
We don't fully understand why cremains would remain unclaimed. Certainly every family has a different story.
The Patriot Guard riders reach out to funeral directors in the area to see if they have any unclaimed remains. Then, they do the proper research to find out if any of them are veterans. They don't judge a family's particular situation. They just want to make sure these veterans are honored by their military family.
It's because they went and did what they done that we have the freedoms we enjoy today. And we can't take it for granted. We can't let that be forgotten.
Over 100 riders from the New York Patriot Guard traveled with the hearse from Buffalo to Bath to make sure these veterans were not forgotten.